Okay, so I know I'm a couple of years late, but I really wanted to do a review on Persona 5 Royal, as I've played the original Persona 5 and it is one of my favourite games. I regard it quite highly, and obviously all the new stuff was added, including the new Mementos, the new Confidants, as well as changing Goro Akechi's Confidant, a lot of reworked Confidants in the game, as well as lots of new DLC, and many more items, including new Personas, and the two new Confidants, Kasumi and Dr. Mariyuki, who are amazing characters, and we're basically going to go into what I loved about this game right here, right now. So let's get into it, I guess. So, the game goes on as normal for a short period of time anyway, where we're introduced to the Phantom Thieves, and then, you got good old boy Joker just hanging around looking like he's having the time of his life, as he normally does. Then Joker decides for himself that he's going to play a little bit of hopscotch. And then it's just really down to his first fight, who, everything's pretty much standard at the moment. And then we get to the really good stuff. So, after being taught the new game mechanics for Persona 5, we go straight into the whole thing with Kasumi. But I love Kasumi, she's my favourite character from this game now, like other than Dr. Maruki, and we'll get on to him soon. But she's amazing. I love her entrance, and it doesn't feel bizarre. I was really worried that this was going to feel really out of place. Because obviously this is additional content to the already original game, and some companies don't really know how to blend that well, but this story was blended in very well with the main story, and I'm actually quite impressed. I really came to love Kasumi, as well as obviously Dr. Maruki and even Goro Akechi, to the extent that we were actually able to spend time with him. More on Goro Akechi later.
You were sold out.
And then there's these guys who have smoked way too much meth for my liking. Although, please don't judge me for the name I gave him. I gave him the name Tomoe because it's the guy from Kami-sama Kiss, my favourite character. Please don't judge me, okay? It's not. So other than this being the tutorial of you walking around the area that you live in, it's also great, which means you're finally able to walk around Shibuya and pretty much do what you want to an extent, obviously. You'll be able to build up levels of your confidence, you'll be able to shop for books, for healing items, SP items, for a fucking plant if you so desire. Like, you can pretty much get everything in this game. It's the one thing I love about it the most, is there's a lot to it. There's a lot more mechanics than just the whole fighting as the Phantom Thieves. There's a lot of thought put into this, and that's what I really enjoy. Although I did get lost quite a lot, don't judge me. Also, and I know you're gonna judge me, but Joker kinda cute, bless him. I would definitely not say no to going out on a date with Joker. That's all I had to make clear. That's all I'm saying, alright? Don't read too much into it. Anyway. Some mad shit happens in this game, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of bad stuff that happens, that some of it made me cry. But, all is well.
What a troublesome situation.
What a massive dickhead. I high-key love these Showtime events. They're really fun, aesthetically pleasing, and it's a nice little gateway. If you're getting absolutely smashed by every enemy imaginable, then you can at least do this. This normally appears when you're about to die, or at random points, to be honest, or at least it did for me. It just came up at random points. My favourite one was Ryuji and Yusuke's one, but apparently I didn't record that, so we're just stuck with Makoto and Ryuji, although this one was fun too. I loved experimenting with the outfits as well. I even put the Featherman outfits on, and it was kind of hilarious. But yeah, no, this was really fun. It was a nice aspect that they brought to the gameplay, and I really enjoyed it, so yeah.
Did you ask for me?
Now on to Mr. Pancakes himself, Akechi. So Goro Akechi is quite the character. Let me go into that a little bit here so you understand. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail about the third semester, but what I will say is obviously Akechi is in it, but it gives him a whole lot of new story, especially because now you have to get the confidant of his for yourself. You don't just get given it by the game anymore, like you actually have to go and source that stuff yourself, which I really like that in the game. So I'm really happy about that. It means more story character development for Akechi, and the same is said with the third semester of having a lot more story driven stuff for Akechi, and I kind of like that they added that into the game, because I feel a lot closer to the character than I did obviously in my first vanilla playthrough, and I just thought that was worth mentioning. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on Akechi. I could not, within good conscience, make a video without mentioning the new Thieves' Den that has been added into the game, which shares trophies. It shares through save slots, so you only kind of get one of them. You can buy art from the game, you can listen to any of the soundtrack, you can play as any of the characters. As you can see here, I'm like going through the different characters that you're able to just walk around as. You can place items, personas and bosses from the game into the Thieves' Den itself. You're able to speak to Jose as well. There is a lot of stuff that you can do here, as well as just looking through the trophies that you've obtained throughout the game, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool, neat little gimmick that was put in that I really enjoy, and I think it's fun that you can like add your own kind of aesthetic style. So when you've completed a palace, you're finally able to unlock a style for the Thieves' Den. So at the moment, the style that I have on is the one from Sainijima's Palace, which is the casino vibe, but you unlock pretty much all of them, including the Velvet Room, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's just a really nice addition. It's just a lot of fun walking around as the characters. Futaba's running is super cute, bless her, but it's really fun, and it's just a fun little side thing. If you're maybe a bit stressed or dying a lot in the game, then you can just go out and mess around in here for a while. That's what I did anyway when I got stressed out. But yeah, like I thought that I definitely had to at least mention the Thieves' Den whilst it was here. So yeah. And this beautiful God-sent man is Dr. Moriyuki, and he's basically the school counselor. He kind of helps after the incidents to do with Kamoshida, and you kind of learn more about him as you raise your confidant, which is required if you want to unlock the third semester. It's very important that you do that for yourself. He's also just the best character in the game. Now let's talk about the nitty-gritty of it all, which is the fact that you end up having to fight Dr. Moriki in the final palace of the actual Persona 5 Royal game, and all I have to say is it's a very, very interesting concept, considering Dr. Moriki as a character is not a bad person. He's not done anything essentially bad. He's trying to better the life of thousands, millions even, but still, you still have to fight him to fight for your own reality, for the reality that you fought in, because then all the past grievances that you had become pointless. And, you know, like, obviously, the Phantom Thieves are dealing with that throughout the whole of the third semester, especially Kasumi, when you find out that she's actually Sumire. So, obviously, a lot happens throughout this third semester that's quite impactful to many people, I think. And I think that Dr. Moriki is... you know, these thoughts spread across a lot of people. This isn't just him that feels that way. I'm sure there's lots of people who wish that they could change the world and, you know, like make people's lives infinitely better, but there are also drawbacks to that concept, and that's what I really enjoy about the way that the game kind of messed with that concept completely, and being able to see his past memories with Rumi and the way that he reacts to certain situations. I just really enjoyed him as a character. He's very well thought out. I'm very impressed by this, and I just love him. I don't know what else to say. He's just such a good character. I really like him, and I think he works really well with the Phantom Thieves. Like, I think he manages to get quite the rapport with them fairly early on, obviously, because he comes through after the Kamoshida arc. So, like, I feel like it's very well built up to that boiling point of, like, him being this god that's gonna change reality, and you have to stop him, but you're not stopping him because he's a bad person. You're stopping him because that's not what real reality is, and that's the story part that I just absolutely fucking love. And you can't get uppity at me for calling her Sumire because, you know, I did put a spoiler warning at the beginning of the video, just saying. So yeah, anyway, moving on. Right, now I'm going to go into Mementos, which has had a significant upgrade, obviously, in the Royale version, which, well, you know. I love how Ryuji's Confidant was reworked so that now you can just bash into enemies of your own validity in Mementos without actually having to confront and fight with them. I know that was a thing before, but I never got to that point, or like I didn't know how to use that mechanic. So now it's just made Mementos a lot more farmable, to the point where I was actually able to get all my characters to level 99 by the time that I needed to fight Moroki, because with Shido I was not as high level. I believe I was like level 70s, around that area, when I was fighting Masashi Shido. And another thing, I love, like, Jose. He's a really cool character, and the concept of collecting, like, these stars and flowers, and, you know, him being able to upgrade Mementos in a kind of way where XP is higher, or you get more money, or you get more items. That was really helpful as well, because it just made the experience a lot more bearable, whereas before it felt more like a proper grind, whereas now it actually feels a lot more free-flowing. It feels like something I would enjoy doing now. It's like an enjoyable, farmable experience. It can be kind of tedious, however, it still worked for me, and it was the only time I was able to get to level 99 in a shorter period of time. So yeah. Also, I wanted to mention Dr. Maruki's Palace is the best, and the song that was used for the background of Maruki's Palace is beautiful, and I could listen to it for days on end. Like, it's so soft and kind of like a gentle melody that really kind of just sweeps you into the story, and it's not like badass music where you're fighting the enemy. This is more somber and kind of calm, reflecting the way that the palace was made and what the palace is, and I really liked that. I liked how, like, kind of plain but not plain. It was simplistic but not. There was a lot of white used, and then obviously when you got to the higher floors there was the golds that were implemented, and then you had the myriad of colours throughout as you got higher towards, you know, the treasure. But other than that, Palace was extremely well thought out, really good. I really enjoyed playing through it. And yeah, that's Dr. Maruki, so I guess that's everything I wanted to talk about when it comes to that. Because my game is on PlayStation, I was unable to record third semester, which is why I haven't included as many clips here as you might like. However, there is the clip of Akechi, you know, deciding to go into prison before Joker, and I like that change of him not actually dying technically, so I loved how that just added more to the story. The rest of it is the same. Persona 5 is such a good story. I love the gameplay, I love the characters. I think my favourite, Mishima is one of my favourite characters, as well as Chihaya. Sorry, my pronunciation isn't the best, but I loved the game, I really did, and I think the extra hours added on were really something. It didn't feel like something that was just put together just for the sake of being there. It felt like something that could have taken place in the vanilla story. There were only small minor changes, and if anything, things were more expanded than taken away from the game, and that's why when I was against the final boss, I was quite excited. I was like, oh, this doesn't mean the end though. This means I can still, like, you know, I'm still going to be able to play the third semester and see what happens with that. It's going to be so much fun. I was hella excited. I've been waiting for ages to be able to play the third semester of Persona 5 Royal, and it was so worth the wait. The only thing that I can do is tell you guys to make sure that you try out this game, because it's so good. If you haven't, I mean, I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't, but yeah, and if you have, like, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is why this is one of my favourite games of all time. I mean, I love Persona so much, and I just needed to talk about it. Yeah, other than that though, I'm pretty sure that's everything that I really wanted to mention, and I really love the franchise, and I can't wait to see what they do when they bring out a sixth Persona. There's also Persona Strikers, which I want to do a video on, which is taking the events that take place after Persona 5, not Persona 5 Royal, events that take place directly after the vanilla Persona 5, which I'm going to be going through through soon. But other than that, that is everything that I wanted to talk about. I just needed to share my love for this goddamn game, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. So, bye!